Greetings and salutations, Earthlings. Welcome to Prepper Nation. Thank you very much for being here. We're trying to break records with the thumbs up, guys. So I appreciate all the thumbs up that came in yesterday. I got cords everywhere. I'm so sorry. If you want to help us out with breaking records, shoot a thumbs up. Takes like a millisecond or something. What are we talking about today? Anyway. We're talking about a comment that was left Tuesday morning. Yeah, I got it right. Tuesday morning. And this person has been here for a long time in the community. You know, if it's just a passerby leaving this comment, somebody I've never seen before, I glance at it, move on. I do read the comments, but this person has been here for a while. They totally disagreed with the message Tuesday morning. And just to show y'all, it's okay. As long as you're respectful, you can totally disagree with me. I've said that a million times. It's okay. We're going to break down this comment. And sir, you know who you are. You are right with some of this comment. And you're also very, very wrong with some of this comment that you left. And I'm going to read the comment off to you real quick, and then we'll break it down step by step. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments as we go through and we break things down. Maybe I'm totally wrong, on Tuesday's monologue. LMFAO. It's going to be a great comment when it starts out like that, right? At you, man. Russia has nothing to match the USA in military weapons and projection of power. Dude, you have no idea what the USA has or is capable of. Maybe if you would have served, fair enough, you would have a better grasp on exactly the scope of power. Sorry, reading's hard for me. The USA has and projects every day. Sorry, John, my son is a military contractor, and my entire male family served. The sheer numbers of what we have, not to mention how advanced it is, would boggle your mind. Just because you want to believe the USA is weak, and it fits an argument we all have with the government at this time, does not make it so. All right. So I'm going to break down this comment. Again, brother, I appreciate you for leaving this comment, for having the courage to totally disagree. It's respectful enough, and I appreciate you being respectful about it. So first of all, Russia has nothing to match the U.S. in military weapons and projection of power. I disagree with this. Because right now they're using hypersonic technology that we either don't have a match for, or if we do have a match for it, they're in prototypes only. If we had them mass produced, they would already be in the theater of war. I'm sure that we have stuff that can rival hypersonics, but they've not been introduced yet. You know what I mean? And if they've not been introduced, they're not really helping out so much. Dude, you have no idea what the USA has. Maybe if you would have served, that's an accurate statement. I'm not a veteran, and I can promise you my perspective would be a lot different if I did. I mean, that's a fair statement. You go on to say that your whole family has served, your male family, so is mine, since literally the Civil War. I had to do this ancestry thing for a college project in order to graduate a class. Wasn't a fan of ancestry, to be honest with you. I didn't want them to have all this information on me, but when we ran it through, all the way back to the Civil War, I had a male in the family that was a Confederate soldier. He re-upped during the Civil War, and then after the fact, he got a pension and everything. So he survived the Civil War. Ever since then, U.S. Army, every single generation. So, I appreciate all the service in your family, but that's been done here as well. Down to my brother. I did not serve, never have claimed to serve. My brother did. He was a truck driver. A truck driver, right? He used to laugh about that all the time. John, my son, is a military contractor. Sheer numbers of what we have, not to mention how advanced, would boggle your mind. I think you're probably right on this. I've heard it said somewhere. Now, this has been a couple of years ago that I read this, but the military is typically 10 years ahead of approximately 10 years ahead of the civilian population in terms of technology. I know that they're using laser stuff that can take drones down and stuff like this, but not moving 5 times the speed of sound, which is the problem with the hypersonic technology. The stuff that we have in use right now between the lasering systems that we have on our um, battleships and things, I think they're only on some of those. And then the Patriot missile system, it was not designed to handle that kind of speed. The problem with the hypersonic missile, again, up to 5 times the speed of sound. Not only do they hit before you pick them up on radar, boom, they hit, right? But they're capable of carrying warheads up to small nukes. So this is a serious, serious problem. And I promise you, if we had, we probably do have technology that can match it, but it's probably being tested. We're behind Russia in this technology, is what I'm trying to tell you. 2 years ago, they were testing hypersonic technology. And now they have enough of a stockpile. They're not using it all of the time, but they can mix it in with other stuff, and it gets through the weapon systems pretty much every time. This is how they are eating Ukraine alive right now. And trust me, NATO, they don't want Russia to gain an inch. So if any NATO country had technology that could match the hypersonic missile, it would already be there. We've given these people advanced tanks. We've given them aircraft. We've given them our most advanced systems, rocket systems and things, long range rockets. Ukraine has nothing that can match what they're being hit with right now. But we'll get into that shortly. Just because you want to believe the USA is weak and it fits an argument that we have with the government at this time does not make it so. Let me be crystal clear on this, because I think that statement is both right and wrong. Okay. When I say the government is weak or the military is weak, I'm not talking about the enlisted soldiers. We have longer boot camps. We have more thorough training than any other military in the world. I still think we have the greatest military in the world and the greatest reserve army in our veterans in the entire world. The issue that I have, and I think, I can bring receipts on this if you need to, but you've seen this stuff. I know you've seen this stuff unless you're just trying to stay away from it on purpose. Okay. Rosie the Riveter is probably lesbian now. Okay. The military is woke. For anybody out there that doesn't know, it's a huge problem. Uncle Sam is a crossdresser at this point. It's not the enlisted that I have an issue with. Very, very tough. Boots on the ground, very, very tough. Again, highly skilled, highly trained. It's the leadership in our military. They're incompetent. You understand what I'm saying? Mark Milley, General Milley, caught red-handed using backdoor channels, talking to the Chinese, assuring them he's not going to allow Trump, who was the commander-in-chief at that time, I'm not going to let him do this. I'll put a stop to it. That's high treason, bro. And he's still a general. Well, he may have recently retired, but he didn't get fired. He didn't get jailed or anything like that. The commanding officer of the withdrawal in Afghanistan, the one where we left millions of dollars. We basically left enough equipment to equip another army, and personally, I think some of this is what's showing up in Syria right now. Was it left on purpose? I don't know, because it could have been destroyed from the air. But the guy that botched that, the one where people were left behind, people were hanging on the airplanes trying to get out of there, he just got promoted. This is the military right now. One of our top leaders is literally a guy that wears a skirt and makeup and dresses like a woman and has an Adam's apple bigger than my coffee cup. Our military at the top, they're worried about diversity and inclusion. Do you think Russia's worried about that at the top? No. Russia's worried about, if I don't perform, if our military isn't strong enough, I'm going to get demoted and I'm going to disappear somewhere. This is what happens in Russia. You get things done or you disappear. So they are highly focused on winning this war. The United States is playing grab you know what and just being stupid. Now, although I think our enlisted are the toughest on the planet, we don't have enough of them. You see, here's the problem. We were talking yesterday about wars on multiple fronts. You go back, you study world wars, okay? Germany, World War I, strongest military. And a lot of people don't know this. They actually contacted Russia prior to, and they said, hey, if you stand down, we'll stand down. We don't want a world war. Russia pushed it anyway. Germany tried to fight. They came up with a ridiculous plan. We're going to fight two fronts. They lost the war. Ottoman Empire disappeared because of this. World War II, same mistake. We're going to fight the West over here. We're going to fight the Soviets over here. Lost the war. Right now, we are fighting on four fronts, or threatening to fight on four fronts. And the people that we are threatening to fight have a much larger base of enlisted and reserves. Okay? Still, I would take our soldiers 2-1, but the problem is people continue to talk, well, Russia's losing so many soldiers in the meat grinder, and they absolutely are. But this is their plan. They created the meat grinder on purpose. You understand? Because their top generals realize, hey, how do we defeat NATO? How do we defeat NATO that is backed by the United States of America? The blueprint to defeat the United States of America, advanced technology or not, is already out there. America wants to win the war within the first year. We want to go in with shock and awe. We want to use technology. We want to be standing over here fighting the war with drones and things. Russia said, no, we're going to fight a conventional war. If it comes to trench warfare, we're doing it. Because they realized they had superior numbers. And people will say, well, no, that's not true. Once you factor in Britain, once you factor in France, once you factor in Finland and Norway, both of those last two, by the way, very, very tough in terms of the military. Some of my favorites to study, actually, are the Finnish ghost soldiers. Check them out sometime if you hadn't. But the problem is, Russia created this chaos on purpose to drag the war out. Because they know here in the United States, wars get unpopular very fast. People get tired of paying for it. Politics gets involved. Elections screw things up. It's just been a waiting game for them. And they have allies. They have allies in China. They have all of the countries that typically hate the United States. North Korea, Iran, they've got allies as well. And they're all focused on winning wars, not diversity and inclusion. So, yeah, I do think our military is weak at the top. At that top echelon of generals and things. I'm not saying our enlisted on the ground are weak. I don't think that at all. But if they're going to follow orders and they're taking orders from idiots, we're not going to win on four fronts. You understand? We have a serious recruiting problem here in the United States. Why? Because China is very, very good at the long game. They've paid a lot of money to universities to infect the minds of our college kids. They graduate, they have no sense of patriotism, and even in high schools, no sense of patriotism, no desire whatsoever to join the military. We were just talking the other day about how veterans are treated so badly. I had a comment, veterans are not treated bad, quit, I'm paraphrasing here. Why would you say that? They have all these resources available, and I replied to the comment, quite frankly. Y'all go back and check it. It was on Tuesday as well. And I said, I watched my wife's grandfather wait for 2 months just to get an appointment at the VA hospital. And then I had to sit with him for 8 hours in a waiting room and watch tennis, because who don't want to watch 8 hours of tennis on a TV in a VA hospital, right? It's a joke. It's a complete joke. And so our young people see this. They're like, well, the veterans aren't being treated fairly. Why would I want to go fight? Why would I want to get killed in a meat grinder? You see, a lot of the countries that we're going to be facing off against, they have mandatory enlistment. You're going to do a certain amount of years whether you want to or not. This is why they have very large armies. Our people are running away from the military. They want no part of it. So it's, to me, a 4-front war is unwinnable. A 3-front war, even if we pull out of Europe, it's unwinnable. We're not going to be able to win in the Middle East, protect Taiwan, right? And protect South Korea. I mean, it's just not possible. We're over deployed. We're making the same mistake that Germany made during World War I, World War II. We're taking on too much, and we're going to run out of resources. Now, that's my opinion. Again, I know we have advanced stuff, but at some point it becomes a matter of who is using the stuff. Do we have enough people to use the advanced equipment? Do we have enough people interested in being in the military anymore? I think we're about to see the enlistment numbers dive off of a cliff. They're already way, way down. Right now they're promising $50,000, I think, the Army, for sign-on bonus. Up to. I've heard a lot of people say, well, they don't really give you the 50,000. They get you in the door, they get you to sign off on like 30,000, and then they're going to tax you into oblivion and take a lot of their money back. It's just not worth it. There are a lot of military families right now that are on food stamps. Let that sink in. That are on government assistance, because soldiers just don't make a lot of money. I mean, they don't. And then when they're done, they're not well taken care of, And then a lot of their countrymen, especially the younger, the left-wingers, they hate you for being a soldier. It kind of gives you Vietnam vibes a little bit. And they can't stand soldiers. It used to be, and I still believe that it is, prestigious. I respect the hell out of our military, past and present. Both of my parents were in the military. My dad was a surgeon. My mom was a nurse. They met during Vietnam, kind of like the show MASH, but not quite. I have her folded flag in the living room. My dad lives in Arizona. I respect the hell out of them for being in the military. But kids these days that are graduating, they don't. By and large, they don't. They don't care. We're dealing with people now that have 8-second attention spans and will die without their cell phones or a mocha latte or something, like whatever they're called. I don't even know, grandes or something. It's like a foreign language. Anyway, that's the point I was trying to make. I wasn't trying to disrespect the military. I wasn't trying to pretend like I know more about the military than people that served. Obviously, I do not. My perspective would be different. Okay. But I'm just giving you the straight facts. Our leadership sucks. From Biden and Harris down to the chain of command below them. Our generals are buffoons. And I hope and pray Trump gets in there and he sees this as a problem and he tries to change this as he strengthens the military. It's the only shot we have. Hopefully the VA hospitals get better. Hopefully there's more incentive for people to sign up to join the armed forces. I don't know. A lot of you served. A lot of you are veterans. Maybe you're serving right now. Even if you haven't, you're entitled to an opinion just like I am. Thank you to those who served, who give me the right to have my own opinion. I appreciate that. Leave your comments down in the section below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. Am I wrong? Are the VA hospitals, are the vets being taken well care of? Am I wrong on that, first of all? Did I totally miss something when I saw that comment? Plenty of resources available. Or am I right for being a little upset that our veterans are not being taken care of like they were promised? And number two, are we weak at the top of the military? Or am I totally missing that? Let me know. Just be respectful. Y'all take care and God bless.